In my hands we have the Squier Affinity Series 2018 Telecaster. Let's see how it sounds in the mix. G'day folks, this is Shane. I borrowed this guitar from Sky Music here in Melbourne, Australia. This is the 2018 Affinity Series Telecaster. Let's check it out. Here's the guitar up close. Now the first thing to point out is look how highly reflective everything is. Even in the body, you can see the guitar coming back off the camera monitor that I use here. So everything about this is highly reflective. I think it looks kind of cool. Here's the back of the guitar as well. I think that looks pretty sweet. It's having trouble focusing right there, but here we go, there we go. You can see the plate on the back of the neck here. It says Squier as well. Now in terms of weight, this isn't overly heavy at all. It's much lighter than most of the Mexican standard tellies that I've picked up recently, as well as my 52 reissue. This is much, much lighter. It's not as light as the 2018 Squier Affinity Series Strat, but that's not surprising given that we don't have any contours on the body or anything like that. Here's the headstock. You can check that out as well. We have regular tuners. Here's the back of the headstock here, so you can check that out as well. Now this is where the guitar shines in my opinion. The neck feels really, really good in the hand. It's not super thin, which is what I like. We have two traditional single coil tally pickups and a three-way toggle switch, so you can either use neck, bridge, or both together. Bridge pickup on this absolutely screams, and I noticed if you take a look at the pickup itself, the pole pieces look quite high. So that's probably why it's got a bit more attitude than I was expecting. And yeah, we'll get into that along the video as well. We can see how it sounds. So a huge thanks to Sky Music for letting me borrow this. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. Today we're playing through the Mua GE200, which is an amp sim / effects pedal instead of the Kemper. I get a lot of complaints sometimes with people saying you shouldn't put a cheap guitar through an expensive amp. So here we go. This is the GE200. It's not the cheapest thing out there, but it pairs a bit more favorably with a guitar like this. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. This is some dirty tones, which you heard in the intro, which I set up on this thing. And this is bridge. Over to neck. And over to both. Sounds really cool. I'm definitely loving bridge pickup the most. This thing plays great. All right, let's try some clean tones. Let's start on the neck pickup now for some clean stuff. Over to both pickups, this is a really great sort of funk tone. And over to bridge. Alright, let's try some heavier tones. Alright, over to a preset called Super Bender. This thing kind of rocks, so get ready, this is bridge. Yeah, neck pickup. And over to both. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. My name's Shane. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So what do I think of this, even in comparison to this, the Stratocaster from the same series? I'm a little more partial to this. I think just the attitude of the bridge pickup really shines, and there's something about the way the neck feels in my particular hand that works great for me, but everybody likes different things. I'm a huge Telecaster fan. I have been for years. In terms of an entry-level Telecaster for a beginner, this is a really great guitar. Tuning stability was pretty decent as well. I think the Strat had slightly better tuning stability for whatever reason, but this still stayed in tune really, really well given how much this guitar is. And this would be also a pretty cool project guitar to throw different pickups in, maybe change a few things if you were to, say, get more experienced with the guitar, but you could absolutely just plug this in and get a usable tone. It's all in the hands anyway, so give this to a better player than me and it will sound great. Give it to a worse player than me and it might not sound quite as good. So it is all in the hands, and the way that these instruments are playing these days, I would have no hesitations in using this. Much like the Stratocaster review I did notice that the fret edges were a little bit kind of rough, but that's not unexpected on an entry-level guitar. That aside, once you actually start playing, you don't really notice it. It's only prominent if you sort of run your fingers along the edges. They're not sharp, they just don't feel as smooth as, say, you know, a US-made guitar or even a Mexican standard Tele. So overall, very, very cool guitars, and a huge thanks to Squier Music for letting me borrow this. You can find out more about them if you live in Australia. All the links will be on screen and in the description below. Catch you soon.